Hello YouTube. Second video here of Steel Ocean, second in 2 days. I'll probably be releasing a video or two a day from Steel Ocean. There's enough content I'm getting from there. At any rate, I'm sizing up what our fleet is like. We got this Atlanta cruiser here, light cruiser, a couple level 3 subs, a level 4 Bagley destroyer, another light cruiser, looks like level 3 Konigsberg. So I'm just taking stock of our situation. We've got 3 battleships. They've got 4. We got 2 light cruisers, a 4 and a 3. They've got a 4. Destroyers are even. We're in a tier 3 Mahan, and we got 2 subs. They've got 2 subs. Now I will say that the matchmaking in this game that I've seen, for the most part, seems to balance out at least ship classes and tiers more often than not. Sometimes I've been in some horribly imbalanced games one way or the other, but more often than not. Now this game also has quite a small population, as in I'm seeing familiar names a lot at these tiers, and there's a lot more people playing at the lower tiers, say under tier 5, than there are above, just because it becomes one of those things where once you get above a certain level, the amount of experience required to advance from that point gets exponentially more. So there are tier 10 ships and things in the game, but there's very, very few tier 10 players out there. So on this map, one of the common traits here is you get this little kind of jutting out island here, and you should be ready to engage, because usually there's going to be a bad guy. Like right there, there's a sub, so I'm going to take off shots on him. A couple of them hit, and uh-oh, battle wagon. 2 battle wagons, a 3 and a 4. Battleships have opened up fire. Sorry, that's the light cruiser. So I put out a spread of torpedoes. There's their light cruiser. And I'm going to slow down here, and this was actually advantageous to me, as but at any rate, it forced him to miss with the battleships. A spray of smoke has been laid. I'm going to go ahead. I know these have a low probability of hitting that battleship out there, but I go ahead and fire off the remaining spread of my torpedoes, because in this game you never know when you're going to get zeroed by a battleship, and it'll be game over. So, you know, an unused weapon is kind of a useless weapon. At the very least, I'm hoping it will force him to maneuver, and then I'm going to put down another smoke screen here. Try to hide myself as best I can from those battleships, because they are definitely the biggest threat to me until that cruiser gets up closer. So the Atlanta's over there. He's kind of isolated by himself, and there's nothing much I can do to help him. So we do have a pair of battleships back here, and I'm going to lean back to screen them, specifically against submarines. Like this guy here. Now, I do not do the best job of laying out a spread. I need to get a little bit better at that, because these are a very tightly clustered pack of torpedoes, and basically need to go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and put them out at more of an angle. So those miss the target. Our submarine's going to fire off a couple torpedoes here as he dives. I'm assuming one of those torpedoes hit him from our submarine. Again, getting some odd torpedo lag, and we'll see this again momentarily. But coming up here on terrain, I'm like, come on, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and slow up here, hit full reverse, let my guy pass, but that gives the enemy submarine enough time to go deep. Depth charges are set for shallow, so no joy there, no damage. Now, why battleships feel the need to fire their guns at a submarine that is underwater would it be no good? I have no idea. We took another hit from the battleship, I think. Probably the battleship that's out there. So this submarine is running deep. But he's coming back up to periscope depth in order to launch an attack on this battleship, so couple depth charges out, a couple hundred damage to him. I'm going to swing around. Florida is taking some damage. Again, why these battleships are concentrating their fire on... Now here's this torpedo. I'm assuming that actually came from Eric's Subber there. I fire off a couple more depth charges. In the meantime, our Florida goes down. And I fire off a better spread of torpedoes, still not great in the target, as I continue to take incoming fire from that battleship, so I'm going to continue to zigzag. Now he goes down, and he never comes back up. So either the sub nailed him. No, he didn't nail him. I'm not exactly sure. I'm guessing that he must have gone deep, just too damaged, and basically died. But that sub did die, so I'm assuming that's what happened there. But I am severely injured. I'm being zeroed by a battleship, not very effectively. That Florida is coming into range. Epic Subber is back there. He needs to turn around and engage that Florida. But our Wyoming is exchanging fire with that battleship, not too effectively. Oh, I take that back. Epic Subber has fired off a couple of torpedoes at the target. I doubt my torpedoes have the range to do very much, but hey, if they're going to come online, I might as well, again, use them or lose them, because I could be zeroed in by a battleship at any time. And that would be pretty much the end of me.
Fuel tanks have been repaired. Operations normal.
So I'm also at this point using up my repair kits, repairing my ship, as I decide I'm out of immediate danger, and yeah, it's going to cost some silver in order to do that because of auto buy. Fortunately, I released those torpedoes, and then Epic Subber kind of gets danger close. Fortunately, he does see them incoming, adjusts his heading. I'm going to try to get a shot off there, but the mountain stopped it. Coming over here to our other battleship to assist with this submarine. He sees me. Better spread, but he surfaces too close. Horrible spread by me. As much as I complain about battleships doing that, he's fired off a bunch of torpedoes here. Really beating up that battleship, but it's too high or too close to surface. And then I swerve to avoid my battleship here. Now there's another Mahan coming in here. Fire off a salvo of torpedoes.
Enemy warship has been hit.
And that's all she wrote, as one of my torpedoes successfully hits. This Mahan's coming in here. I don't expect to live very long, given this situation. So I'm going to try to zero in on him. One good hit. He's relying on his torpedoes, putting them up there. This battleship also has him zeroed, so that probably he's going, oh, I can get a battleship kill. Fired off a couple more shots, and now he's obscured by this little island, this little outcropping of rocks here. The battleship is in a pretty bad state. And I decide, you know what, I'm going to stop here in reverse. Another solid salvo. And I'm going to try to time it. That one didn't get off. And that's kill number 2 as he goes into the fog. So, I am in a pretty beat up state. I've managed to get 2 kills, one against a submarine here, and another one against a Mahan with some assistance from my battleship friend there. So now I'm looking up the situation. Oh crap, we've only got a submarine, a battleship, and me. And I'm not in great condition right now. They've got 3 battleships and a destroyer. Well, here's their destroyer. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here because he's not moving. I guess he's an AFK destroyer. He's already pretty well beaten up. Come on. Boom. So that was a lucky kill as I sail into the enemy flag. And given the situation here, I don't think that we're going to be able to outgun this. Although we do have a submarine operational, and both of their battleships are in pretty bad state right now. But so is ours. So I'm just going to circle around here, fire off a salvo for, you know, shits and giggles. Waiting for an incoming salvo of fire from the battleship, but it looks like that their idea is to possibly try to sail for our flag, but more to go after this battleship, because I think they think with 3 battleships remaining, they can win this battle. Oh, 2 battleships remaining, they could win this battle with essentially firepower. And meanwhile, I'm in their flag zone with just a few seconds left, and we win the match. Strategery. And that was probably one of my better matches in the Mahan. Well, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time.